Hey guys, today we are going to be breaking down what it is going to take for you to go Division One in track. And this is a video specifically centered around times that you need to run, standards, qualifications, things like that, rather than what coaches are looking for, type of athlete you are, academic stuff. If you want to find something like that similar to what I'm talking about, um, go see my first YouTube video. I do a good job breaking down what it takes on that level and what the recruiting process is like. But today is going to be focused just on times, and get ready for your mind to be blown. It is insane. So let's get right into it. Let's deep dive into this thing. So, um, so nowadays we have guys running 975, not win legal, but 975, point one off win legal in the 100 meters in college. Uh, and this is the norm. Jordan Anthony, insane athlete, freak of a nature, football player as well. He is crazy. This guy stepped onto the track, and all of a sudden he just became a phenom. Ran 975 in the West Regional race in Texas, I believe. And yeah, it's crazy. So the way that this video is going to work is a good analysis of what it's going to take D1 is you take the top 500 college athletes. You look at between the conferences they compete in, what these guys look at, and your Power Four, your SEC, your mid majors, and your lower tier D1s. SEC, obviously, that's Tennessee, Arkansas, South Carolina, Texas A&M, um, Kentucky, all the schools. If you didn't know what SEC is, I assume a lot of you guys do. Um, the second is Power Four. That's SEC. That's Big Ten, Big 12, and ACC. And I'm gonna go in that order. I think SEC is number one, Big Ten is number two, Big 12 is number three, and ACC is number four. Depending on the event group, it can switch up back and forth, but overall, I think that's how the order goes. But SEC is kind of on a different level of its own, so we're going to group it on its own. But SEC is part of Power Four conferences, if that makes sense. And then we go to mid-major schools, so that's like Conference USA, Sun Belt, the MAC, any school that is in the FBS in football, but not a Power Four school. So if you didn't know that, then that's the best way I can explain it. And then lower tier D1, that's just all the other Division One schools in a conference. I'm going to group that up in one. So let's get into it. So if you want to run in the SEC in the 100 meters, SEC schools are looking for somebody that will compete for a national title or score points at the national level. And usually that's around top 60 times. That can differ between indoor and outdoor, but we're just looking at outdoor today just because the times are a little more feasible for you to wrap your head around. And so that's where you're looking at. So I'd say about top 60 is where it's going to be at. And top 60 in the nation this year was a 10-1-9, so the 10 teens. And this is pretty accurate. And you can see, look at this: Arizona, Houston, Kentucky, Clemson, Baylor, Oregon, Minnesota, Texas, Houston, Georgia, Ohio State, Purdue. So many Power Four schools. And at the top of this list, I mean, you got Arkansas, Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M, Tennessee, And so that's where it's going to be. Yeah, it's insane. Insanity. For Power 4 level, we're going to go all the way down to the bottom of this list because a majority of these schools in the top 500 are going to be Power 4 schools. And so this is kind of where a good cutoff is. And yeah, so 1061. And I actually think this is a bit slow. Um, just because in the sprinting events, a lot of 100-meter guys um, can sometimes have more raw talent rather than have to be a part of a huge program that's going to push them to get to the national title. Um, so anyways, yeah. 1061. So sub 10.6 will probably get you guaranteed power 4. Actually, that's a very loose statement. Uh, I don't know about that. I'm gonna say 10.6 you have a fighting chance of getting power 4. Just because some programs standards will be there for athletes, but sometimes programs just can't bring on new athletes over years, so that's what it is. D1 in general, you're looking around 10.8 ish or so. Usually the best way to figure out if you can go D1 based upon solely times or not is you look at the last 5 years and you look at what somebody has run a progression based upon the program, and you can say, well, in 5 years, that's the amount of eligibility that somebody has had. And so if you took that amount of development in those 5 years, then why can't say I can't do the same thing? So I usually take a 5-year rule and I say, okay, what did somebody run 5 years ago with this program? And then the lowest tier D1 school you can go to is looking around 10.8. So that's where it's looking at. Okay, 200 meters. So Tromba, this guy's a beast. 1979. 200-meter athletes are usually more developed because it takes more sprint endurance than a 100 guy. You can't just show up on the track and have that insane raw talent. So it's going to be a little different. Top 60 in the 200, 2056, 2057. So mid 20s. That's going to get you power 4 about. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's uh oh no, sorry. What am I saying? What am I saying? Sorry, not power 4. SEC. SEC. 2056 is what's going to get you into SEC, not power 4. Power 4, we go all the way down here. Power 4, these athletes are running 21:37. Hopefully I'm pronouncing this right. Tyja Edwards. I want to say from Jackson State. Obviously, this isn't a power 4 school, but usually top 500 is what you're looking at. So, wow, this is crazy. He ran a negative 3.4 headwind. Corey Korcher from Merrimack. Okay, Corey. I see you. I see you. Yeah. And then 21.7, 21.8. It's probably going to get you D1 in the 200. So let's go 400. 400, there's not one guy really dominating right now, like Jordan Anthony in the 100 or Traba in the 200. It's a very inconsistent event, meaning you have to really get in a good training block and know how to have good coaching and know how to train for the 400 to be able to score points nationally or win a national title. And so you'll see a lot of flip flopping between indoor and outdoor, and there's not really a consistent guy that can run a 400. If you see a consistent guy running 400, you know he's built different. And yes, I am quite possibly referring to Quincy Wilson. Uh, if he gets into the college scene, his consistency is insane, especially competing at that high level. So he will be a force to reckon with. Um, he could be the guy that you see in NCAA winning national titles back to back, which is insane. But top 60 in the SEC is 45.79. Um, for a time standard, I want to say this should be a little higher, but then again, it is the 400, so equivalent's not going to be the exact same, but looking about 45, 70, 45, 60 is what's gonna get you to SEC. Power 4, we go all the way down again. Um, we have 48 flat by Aaron Abenden. Okay, from Maryland. So Power 4 school in the Big Ten. There we go. Yeah, so sub 48. That's that's pretty given. Sub 48, you run sub 48, you get Power 4. I think that's fair. I mean, nowadays I think it's fair. So, and then D1 400 is very like wishy-washy in the lower tier D1 levels. Some conferences you can run a 50.5 and they'll get you on the team. Some of them you're gonna have to run disclosure to a 48. So if you're gonna meet in the middle, I'd say probably 49, 49.5 is what's gonna get you D1 and 400 if you're looking to go to any Division One school. Um, so go down to the 800. 800. These guys are moving nowadays. Christian Jackson from Virginia Tech, from my home state. Um, Tanoto Matatsa, insane athlete, sub 4 miler in high school. This guy from Clemson has always been a force to reckon with. Penn State is always an 800U. Um, yeah, this guy from Cal Poly has been showing some signs of some potential national championship caliber performances. He's a junior right now, so he'll be a senior. So I would be surprised the guy from Cal Poly wins a national title or outdoors. Aiden McCarthy. And yeah, so these guys are all moving. 144 by Christian Jackson. He's insane. It's gonna probably be between Christian Jackson and Aiden McCarthy next year. Oh, and Tuna Matata, if I had to guess, for a national championship. Um, but yeah, they are um, really in a deep field right now. We go down and we go. Okay, sorry, we got top 60 real quick. SEC 147 mid. I think going into next year, this is going to drop even more because you have guys like Cooper or Luca now that just ran a 142, and I don't know how it's possible in high school. And 147 mid is just becoming the norm. And I want to say sub 147, but as of right now, if you really want to get technical, at 147 mid is probably going to get you SEC. And then a lot of guys in the 150 range, a lot of guys at 151. So if you want to go power 4, again, I don't think this is super accurate, but I'm going to switch up the way that I'm doing this real quick. And I'm going to say for the 800 specifically, I'm going to say 150. Sub 151 is going to get you power 4. If you want 151, an email Power 4 school, they may or may not reach out to you. But if you run sub 151, I'd say 99% of times coaches will reach back out to you and they'll let you know what's up. So 1500. My main event, these guys are moving nowadays. Top 500 in the NCAA is 348, which is a insane thing. We'll get to that in a second. But you got obviously these top guys that are just running the NCAA right now, uh, getting really popular in the track and field scene in general, to be honest, which is kind of cool to see. But we got Liam Murphy, Ethan Strand, Marco Langdon, Gary Martin, Abel Tefa. He won national championship indoors, and obviously, where's he at? Nathan Green, he won outdoors, and Adam Spencer's a dog. Parker Wolf is a dog. Uh, Nicholas Plan is a dog. Jojo Jordan. He'll be there in a couple of years looking for a national title. Let the young brothers. Where's is Colin Salmon not here? Where is he? Oh, Cooper Kofra. He's a guy in the SEC. And Ruben Reina. These guys in SEC are really fighting neck and neck with each other. Oh, Cal Poly guy he's here again. Yeah, this Cal Poly guy is really good. Not a lot of people talk about him though. So I think he's gonna really have a good next year. Uh, and so we get to top 60, and it's about 339. So sub 340 will get you SEC, which is insanity. If you want to run SEC, you got to run like 356 or 357 mile conversion. What is happening? And then if you want to go Power 4 nowadays, you have to run a 348, which converts to, yes, a 406.47 mile. So for your 1600 guys out there, you got to run 408, 409. If you're not sub 410 in high school, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you're not sub 410 in high school, you're not going Power 4 nowadays. It's just, it's what it is. It's just, I'm sorry to tell y'all. I'm sorry to break it to y'all if you know, you just hold on to the sliver of hope. If you're a 415 guy, if you're a 425 guy, you know what's crazy is that 5-10 years ago, 425, you go, you could probably find Power 4 school that would get you on the team. 10 years ago, 425. Nope. Mm-mm. No. So 410. Sorry. D1 in general, it's looking like 420 is the standard nowadays, which I totally agree with. I think 420 is a good standard. I think there's a lot of guys that can run. Or I think there's the top end of high school guys that are going to the state championships can run for sub 420, but it's not like, okay, sub 420 is like this crazy thing that you have to run nowadays. So I think 420 is a good meter. So 5K. So this is the highest distance that you high school guys will be running, unless I don't know why you would be running something higher than this, but typically cross country. And so obviously cross country times are going to be slower, but we can kind of equivalate for that. Uh, we'll give or take. Here, let's actually do some conversions right now. So I'm going to cut to that in a second.
An eternity later.
So I just looked at the conversion, and if you run a totally flat cross-country course, you're probably going to run on an average 15 to 30 seconds faster on the track. So obviously, there's a lot of different variants of cross country courses. I've seen cross country courses that go in negative elevation. I've seen cross country courses that you're basically running up the side of the mountain. I've seen cross country courses that I don't even know what they were trying to cook. You have to run over a fence and duck under some trees and stuff like that. So we're just going to go average 15 to 30 seconds. I'll take this with a grain of salt, but on general level, let's do this. So Captain Samuel. If you don't know who this guy is, he is the next up and coming NCAA foreign superstar. Um, Now, as I'm speaking, I don't know if this guy is going to be signing pro or not because he has the times to. I do know that Ishmael Kipkurui, um, he did sign pro, but Captain Samuel could sign pro at any time. I'm not sure. Or maybe he's already signed pro. It's the CBU guy. I think I've heard of him before, but I'm not too familiar with him. Park Wolf, Evans, Karuri, Washington State. This guy, I think he's kind of old. I'm not exactly sure, so I'm not gonna really pay attention to that. Uh, I'm not very versed in that. Gary Martin, Drew Bosley, um, Rocky Hansen. So your returning guys are probably going to make a bang on the NCAA at the national level next year. It's going to be Rocky Hansen, Captain Samuel, uh, Parker Wolf is gone, Gary Martin, uh, and if James Corrigan comes back, I don't know if he is well yeah, or not, but those guys. Oh, and Marco Langdon, got third. Totally forgot about that. I almost dissed Marco Langdon right there. But yeah, but SEC 1335. So worst case scenario, you have to run a 1350 probably to run an SEC 1350, which is crazy fast, crazy fast coming out of high school. Uh, there's not many guys in history that have ever run 1350 in high school. I can't. The only person I can think of that has done something remarkable around the lines is probably Colin Solomon. And he was generational. And best case scenario, 1405. So you have to be like national elite. Like you have to be placing at the podium at NXR, Foot Locker. If you want to go SEC nowadays, which is just sounds miserable, man. But I think it gets a lot better once you get to top 500 here because yeah. So if you want to go Power Four, it's looking more reasonable, although these times are still insane. 1435 and 1450. So 1450 is you're probably a state champion, and you know you're getting close to if not, you haven't booked a ticket to NXR or Fall Locker, you're probably getting close to the top 5, top 10 range at regional meet, obviously at the national level. And 1435 is you've definitely made NXR, NXN, and you could potentially go be looking for an all American. You're probably all American. Side to guess. So we're gonna end it there. We're not gonna go with 10K because 10K is just not really a high school race at all. So yeah. So I hopefully that was a good breakdown of the times you need to run or not. again, this is my opinion, um, but it's just, yeah, it's something we have to adapt to, you know? Something that's just the NCAA is changing. Um, and um, if you guys enjoy this video, and you know, depending on the engagement we get on this video or the feedback, I will make a part two. I'll break down maybe some women's times. I'll break down what you need to jump. Uh, I'll break down maybe some other events I didn't cover, uh, hurdle events, but I just wanted to get some straight, general simple times that you can think about that you need to run. Um, but yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Um, if you liked it and you want to support me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and thank you so much. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.